Winter Olympics recap, Heartbreak in slalom and Eileen Gu tries to defend big air gold. Milan, AP. Eileen Gu is readying to defend her big air ski freestyle title, and a Norwegian contender's emotional reaction overshadowed the last men's alpine ski event of the Milan Cortina Olympics. Also on day 10 of the Winter Games, the United States and Canada have women's hockey semifinal games which could set up yet another gold medal decider between the old rivals. McGrath's moment alone in the forest. The men's slalom race had a finish like no other. Norway's Atle Lai McGrath was leading the race and skiing last on the second run but straddled a gate and was out. He stopped, threw his ski poles over a fence and then started walking through deep snow to the forest for some time alone. The dramatic finish overshadowed Loic Meillard of Switzerland winning gold, and an earlier fall for giant slalom winner and South American history maker Lucas Pinheiro Brathen. It's been an especially tough Olympics for McGrath, whose grandfather died on the day of the opening ceremony. McGrath was racing with an armband as a tribute. Eileen Gu's quest in big air. The freestyle star who skis for China is going for her second medal of these Olympics as she aims to win the big air event for the second games in a row. Gu was second in qualifying and will be up against Mathilde Grimaud, who beat her to the gold medal in slopestyle. Gu is also competing in the halfpipe later in the Milan Cortina Games. More Dutch gold. Xandra Velzebaar won her second gold medal of the Olympics in the women's 1,000-meter short track speed skating to match her Dutch teammate Jens van Teewout with 2 gold medals for the Games. Italy's Oriana Fontana was chasing what would have been her 14th career Olympic medal but placed 4th. Still to come. The US is unbeaten in women's hockey and is playing Sweden to reach the gold medal game at a 5th consecutive Olympics. Canada plays Switzerland later. The figure skating pairs event heads for its decider in the free skate, with Germany's Minerva Hayes and Nikita Volodin leading after the short program. Medals are also on offer in women's monobob and the men's super team ski jumping. Winter Olympics 2026, a symphony of triumph and heartbreak. The Winter Olympics are always more than a sports competition. They are a tapestry of human ambition, heartbreak, resilience, triumph against odds, and moments of pure, unfiltered emotion. The 2026 Milano Cortina Games delivered all of these in spades. Among the thrills were dramatic slalom heartbreaks that froze spectators in disbelief and an unforgettable quest by Eileen Gu to defend her Olympic big air crown, a story that unfolded with equal parts grace and agony. The frozen stage, setting the scene. Nestled between the Italian Dolomites and the quaint alpine villages of Milan and Cortina, the 2026 Winter Olympic venues were magnets for winter sports best. Snow-dusted peaks awaited the finest athletes in the world, skiers, skaters, hockey players, and more, all clutching dreams forged years, sometimes decades, in the cold crucible of competition. 2 themes quickly emerged early in these games. Precision matters more than ever. Races and jumps were decided by razor-thin margins. Legacy and personal struggle often define victory more profoundly than the medal itself. And nowhere was this more evident than in the slalom races and freestyle skiing events dominated by Eileen Gu's story. 2. Slalom's poignant twist, heartbreak on the ice. The slalom, traditionally a high-speed test of agility and nerve, turned into one of the most emotional narratives of these games. Atle Lai McGrath's moment of solitude. Norwegian skier Atle Lai McGrath, a favorite for a medal, became the embodiment of Olympic heartbreak. On his final run, positioned to maybe clinch a podium finish, he straddled a gate, a costly mistake that instantly dashed his medal hopes. In a moment that millions watching would never forget, McGrath stopped, flung his poles aside, and walked into the deep snow toward the forest, seeking solace and quiet. This image, a top-tier athlete, stripped of triumph and walking alone in a silent forest, became one of the defining visual metaphors of the 2026 Games. It underscored how the margin between glory and despair in winter sports can be millimeters apart. Why it resonated. McGrath wasn't just racing, he was carrying emotional burdens. Earlier in the Olympics, he'd lost his grandfather and wore an armband in tribute. Viewers saw not just an athlete who missed out on gold, but a person confronting the rawest form of competitive loss. The slalom didn't just sway on snowy slopes, it creaked with human vulnerability. 3. Big air, a stage for courage, skill, and legacy. If slalom showcased heartbreak, big air was destined to capture perseverance and raw athletic artistry. At its root, big air is about defying gravity, skiers launching themselves off a massive ramp and trying to stick high-difficulty tricks with pinpoint precision. Eileen Gu, the icon in the spotlight. Eileen Gu, the 22-year-old superstar representing China, but with roots in both the US and China, came to Milan with high expectations. She was the reigning 2022 Olympic big air champion, a title she had to defend on this elite stage. Gu's presence bore larger narratives. She's one of the most recognizable faces in freestyle skiing. Her identity, American-born, competing for China, has sparked conversation, admiration, and scrutiny alike. Her blend of athleticism, style, and poise has inspired fans globally. The final, inches between glory and silver. In the big air finals, Canada's Megan Oldham soared to gold with a combined score of 180.75. Eileen Gu earned silver with a score just shy at 179. That difference, less than 2 points, epitomized the most thrilling aspect of Olympic competition. Victory, and its nearest shadow, can cohabit a competition. The unforgiving nature of big air. Unlike slalom, where a single misplaced edge can end a run, big air adds complexity. Judges evaluate technical difficulty, execution, amplitude, and style. The scale is unforgiving. Perfection is near mythic. The slightest wobble can be the difference between gold and silver. For Gu, this wasn't just about repeating her previous success, it was about wrestling with expectations and the invisible weight of history itself. 4. The human side of competition. While fans often focus on medals and podiums, the heart of the Olympics beats strongest in the personal stories behind these performances. In Milan, 2 such threads stood out. 1. McGrath's silence after disappointment. McGrath's walk into the snow was more than an emotional retreat, it was a moment of vulnerability broadcast to the world. In that wilderness, he stepped out not just of the race, but of the polished facade athletes are expected to uphold. The photographers and officials searching for him afterward only emphasized how closely performance and human emotion were intertwined in these games. 2. Gu's transition from silver to something greater. Although she didn't win gold in big air, Gu's journey throughout the Olympics extended beyond that single event. She also competed in slopestyle, where she had previously made history but did not take gold in 2026. But critically, her Olympics didn't end there. She went on to the halfpipe, where she seized the top spot, defending her title from Beijing and winning gold. This made her one of the most decorated freestylists in Olympic history. In halfpipe, she delivered a near-perfect score of 94.75 on her final run, a performance that rewrote her narrative from near-miss in big air to triumphant champion once again. Beyond the slopes, what it means to compete at the Olympic level, the weight of expectation. Every athlete who wears their country's colors carries the hopes of millions. In Eileen Gu's case, that pressure was amplified by her global profile. She was not just defending a title, but battling public expectation, personal scrutiny, and complex cultural narratives. Yet across all disciplines, whether skiing, skating, bobsled, or hockey, athletes showed a single consistent truth. To compete at the highest level requires not just physical skill, but mental resilience. Whether it's accepting heartbreak with dignity, as McGrath did in his journey off the slalom course, or bouncing back from silver to gold, as Gu did in halfpipe, the games are as much about inner strength as outward achievement. Small margins, big stories. One of the most consistent themes at Milano Cortina was how tiny margins decided outcomes. A fraction of a second here. One misaligned gate there. A judge's tiny point difference in big air. These were the moments where giant dreams teetered on the edge of reality, only to be snatched back with heartbreak or elevated into legend. 6. The legacy of the 2026 Olympics. As the closing ceremonies unfolded and flags were lowered, there were clear takeaways from this remarkable chapter of Olympic history. Human emotion never leaves the podium. No matter how decorated an athlete is, at the Olympics, they always remain human first, capable of hope, despair, joy, and heartbreak. From McGrath's forest walk to Gu's emotional journey through 3 demanding events, the 2026 Winter Games reminded the world that athletes are storytellers, too. The next generation saw what was possible.